Welcome to a new video. The 2022 World Cup in Qatar was an instant classic, a 3-3 match which eventually went to penalties. Gonzalo Montiel stepped up to convert the winning shot for Argentina, winning them football's greatest prize. But which of France and Argentina's squad were playing a decade ago? Of the two teams, 20 of them were playing professionally around the world. Let's see what clubs they were playing at. First up, we have Rodrigo De Paul. One of Argentina's standout performers, at the age of 17 he plays for Racing Club. His form there attracted the interest of Valencia, who signed him for $6 million in 2014. Emiliano Martinez. His heroics throughout the World Cup were integral to the team's success. He was recently crowned the best goalkeeper in the world by FIFA. At 18 years old, Jordan Veretout plays for Nantes. He appeared in one game during the World Cup against Tunisia. Marcus Acuna. At 19 years old, he plays for Veretout in Argentina. Slightly surprised by his strength rating of 3. Maybe he had a different physique back then. The Manchester United centre-back is just 19 years old here. Retrospectively, a pretty good piece of business by Real Madrid to acquire him back then. Amongst the younger players who feature here, Angel Correa lines up for San Lorenzo. In 61 games in Argentina, he scored 12 goals, eventually moving to Atletico Madrid in 2015. Rabiot here is still in the PSG youth system. At 16 though, he already looks like a very promising player. During his time in Paris, he won 18 trophies, including 5 league titles. Another bright talent here, Leandro Paredes plays for Boca Juniors. Despite winning the World Cup, his club career has stalled a little since moving to Juventus from PSG. We find Tagliafico at Banfield in Argentina. He left Argentina when he was 25 to join Ajax for $4 million. Last summer, though, he moved on to Lyon. Alphonso Areola, another graduate of the PSG youth system. In the 16 years he was affiliated with the club, he made 107 appearances. He now plays for West Ham United in England. The linchpin of Argentina's World Cup winning defence, at 23 years old, Otamendi is playing for Porto. During his time in Portugal, he'd win 3 league titles and a Europa League, eventually moving on to Valencia for €12 million in 2015. Real Madrid certainly had some talent in their team in 2012. A product of the Rosario Central youth system, he moved to Benfica in 2007. During his time in Madrid, he'd win 6 trophies, including a Champions League. Geronimo Rulli, one of Argentina's backup goalkeepers, here he plays for Estudiantes. 24-year-old Olivier Giroud. The Frenchman can be found at Montpellier in 2011. His goal-scoring exploits helped the club win their first ever league title, which eventually attracted the interest of Arsenal. Here we find Hugo Lloris at Lyon. He'd move on to join Tottenham in 2012. Remarkably, during his career, he's only ever won 2 club trophies, a French Cup and a Super Cup. I don't think he needs much introduction. In 2011, Messi would go on to have his best season ever, registering 116 goals and assists. More recently, though, I think he may be remembered for his World Cup campaign, getting 10 goals and assists, including 2 in the final. A rather young-looking Antoine Griezmann. Here he's at Real Sociedad. He would move on to Atletico Madrid in 2014. Researching for this video, I was surprised to find out he's never actually won a First Division title. Another of Argentina's backup keepers, Franco Armani, was on loan a decade ago at Atlético Nacional in Colombia. In 2011, Papu Gomez was playing for Catania in Serie A. More recently, he's had spells with Atalanta and now Sevilla. The penultimate man on our list, Germain Pezzella. At 20 years of age, he's playing for River Plate. During his time there, he'd win 6 trophies, including a Copa Libertadores. He's now enjoying his second stint at Real Betis. Lastly, Steve Mandanda. The Marseille keeper spent the best part of 15 years at the club, with a brief intermission at Crystal Palace. During his time in the south of France, he helped them win their last league title. That concludes our countdown of World Cup finalists who played a decade ago. Which of these players was your favourite at the tournament, and who do you think did best? Let me know in the comments section. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video.